What is up, guys? Emmanuel Jones here, and we back at with another NFL prediction video. And this time, we'll be doing our Week 2 predictions and give you my thoughts to see which team I think is going to win. And I'll be giving you my spreads and score predictions as well. So before I get to my record prediction for the Week 2, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see who you think is going to win Week 2. So by the way, last week I went 10-5-1, and then also I chose the Chiefs to win and they won 27-24. At least I was so close. So yeah. By the way, we're gonna get started with the rest of the games. Alright, so first game we have the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. Browns are favored by 6.5. I'm gonna keep this one a little short. So when I look at this matchup though, this is 6.5 points. So this is two backup quarterbacks playing against each other. So yeah. But this can definitely go either way though. But here's the thing. I kind of have a feeling that, that I don't really think the Browns are good. And plus, the Jets aren't good either. I don't think the Jets are that good either. So I have a feeling that this could go either way though. But this could be my trap game of the week, but I don't really know. But this is a game where, both offenses and both defenses, can the scrimmage can control the line of scrimmage in this game. But you know what? It kind of comes to the point to see whose defense is better. So as I look at both of their teams, like the Browns. Now last week, I thought the Browns offense looked it pretty well versus the Panthers. Jacoby. I like how the way they run the football and all that, and I like how the way their defense, was able to make big plays down the field. I bet that Browns defense was playing really spectacular. They was able to contain the passing game and stop the run. But you know what? As I look towards their offense, we can definitely see the Browns having another good game here. But on the flip side, as I look at the Jets, now the Jets are really not this good. Because, the Jets kind of looked terrible last week. Their defense played a little well, but it did not play its best. So yeah. But you know what? I thought that the defense looked pretty good. But you know what? I don't really know how well the Jets defense is going to be able to look. But you know what? I think the Jets can match up well with the Browns really good because they have a really strong defensive line and they also have a great secondary as well. So, yeah, I believe their defense is really strong. But the offense is starting to get a little bit more explosive. I thought that but their offense did not play as well, did not play its best last week. We could definitely see the Jets offense play. We can definitely see the Jets offense play really, really good this game. Yeah, but this is an either or type game. But you know what? In order for the Jets to win this game, Solomon's gonna have to have a good game plan with his defense, where he wants to play how can he at least play the Browns, how he wants to play his defense. Can he allow them to play cover 2 or allow them to get pressure? But you know what? I just kind of feel like I don't really know the Jets are going to do enough to at least stop the run. I feel like they're going to get ran over because the Browns have a strong offensive line, especially last week versus the Panthers. They did a good job running the ball, and I think they're going to do it in this game. But I think they're gonna do enough to pass the ball. Jacoby Brissett looked at really well last week, so yeah, but you know what? I kind of have a feeling that I think it's gonna be closer than people expected. But if the game was in New York, I might go with the Jets. But I kind of feel like that, I think it's gonna be close though. But I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna roll with the Browns to win this game, and I have the Browns winning 20-17. I think this game right here is going to get ugly. It's not going to be pretty, but it's probably going to get ugly because, Jacoby Brissett, he's so inconsistent, and Flacco is so inconsistent as well. So, yeah. So, I don't really know if the Jets defense is going to be able to have an answer for Amari Cooper, which I don't think they're going to have an answer for Nick Chubb as well, because I think the Browns are going to run the ball really good in this game. So, yeah. So, besides that, I think Kevin Stefanski is going to have put up a good game plan against Robert Salomon's defense. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Browns to win this game, but I might take the points, though. I'm probably going to go ahead and just take the Jets to cover. I'm going to take the Browns to cover. Our next game, we have the Washington Commanders versus the Detroit Lions. Lions are favored by 1.5. Obviously, this is going to be my trap game because I feel like this game right here could definitely go either way, because I kind of feel like that the Commanders are probably going to be a good team this year. And I think Detroit could be a sneaky team this year. Yeah. But when I look at this matchup is definitely going to be, I feel like it can be either way type of game, because here's the thing. Like, when I look at the Washington Commanders, they have last week they had a great performance versus Jacksonville. Carson Wentz, he looked it really good. They was able to their offense put up points. The defense, it looked really good. But you know what? We can definitely see them have another success in this game. On the flip side, the Lions, they're starting to play with heart. I love how the way they've been starting to play competitive last week against the Eagles. They should have at least won that game. I love how the way the Lions did versus the Eagles. Jared Goff looked it really good. So, yeah. But you know what? I feel like this can go either way, though. But because when I look at Washington's defense, their defensive line is very strong. But I just don't really know if their defense is going to be able to do enough to, slow down DeAndre Swift, because they have so many injuries on the defense. And on top of that, they don't got Chase Young as well. So Washington's defense can definitely be very weak. But you know what? Their weaponry is very strong. Terry McLaurin put up a big game. Their rookie receiver Dotson had a good game. Yeah. They have a lot of. Their wide receiving group just had a really fantastic game. On the flip side, when I look at the Lions, their offense is straight up really good. Their offense put up a lot of points on the Eagles last week. But the defense, it's okay, but not fantastic. But I kind of feel like their offensive line is better than people think. And I think their defensive line, it's really good. It's okay, but not great. But, they got Aiden Hutchinson and Michael Brockers. That can really be a problem, though. Those guys can definitely be a problem on that defensive line, because I don't think the Washington Commanders have an offensive line, though. And plus, the Lions, their secondary, their defense is just straight out young. So, I don't really know what the Lions are going to be able to at least, I just don't know their offense is going to be, their defense is going to be able, able to at least slow down Terry McLaurin and all that. And plus, both their secondaries are kind of sketchy because the Lions have a great receiving group. I mean, they got St. Brown, they got Jamison Williams, and then they also got the other guy. Who can I think of? DJ Chark. And also they got TJ Hawkinson. So yeah, so we can definitely see this be a high scoring game though. But I wouldn't be shocked if they kept it a high scoring game as well. So yeah. But you know what? I feel like this game is gonna be close though. But I think it's gonna be pretty than you think. But I don't think it's gonna be ugly though. I mean, if it was a defensive game, it could be ugly. We can definitely see a defensive game as well. But even though the game's in Detroit, I don't really think it matters though. But I'm going to go with the Commanders to win this game here. I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders to win this game right here. And I got them winning 24-20. I just kind of feel like that Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dawson, I mean, the receiving group is just going to be too much for the Lions secondary to handle. And plus, I don't think the Lions really have any corners that can cover those guys. Because I feel like Terry McLaurin is a difference maker in this game. So, yeah. And plus, I just think their defensive line is going to be able to get pressure. And they're going to find a way to stop the run. So, yeah, I think they're going to be able to – I think they should find a way to, like, slow down DeAndre Swift in that run game. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Washington Commanders to win this game. But I'll also take the points with the Lions, though, because I think they do keep it close. So I'm going to take the Lions to cover the 1.5 plus the 1.5, but I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game. So I think it will be close, though, and it will be competitive, though, because I think the Lions will hang around this game like they did the other game. So, yeah, give me the Commanders to win this game. All right, next game, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay is favored by 2.5. Obviously, this is going to be another one of my trap games, though, because I feel like it can go either way, because here's the thing. Tampa Bay kind of has so many injuries on the injury report, and then the Saints got so many players on the injury report as well. So, yeah. So, it's been a hesitated week because Jameis Winston is hurt, and Kamara's hurt. So, yeah, I mean, some of the players, some of the Saints players got on the injury report, and then some of the Bucs players got on the injury report. But you know what? I feel like this could be a challenging game, but I kind of feel like the Bucs receivers, some of their receivers got hurt. But I'm predicting that Mike Evans, Russell Gage, and Julio's gonna play. But I know Chris Godwin's probably not gonna play, and Leonard Fournette is on the injury report as well, which I see. And then their offensive line, I mean, it's kind of hurt, though. And plus, I mean, their defense seems a little healthy. So, yeah. So, I think their defense is healthy. But I feel like their offense is probably not healthy right now. But I'm predicting that some of the players are going to play because I know Godwin's not going to play. So, yeah. So, I feel like that the Bucs have so many injuries on the injury report right now. But if some of their players are out, I don't really know if Tampa Bay is going to be able to do enough offensively to at least like score on the Saints. Especially the Saints have a strong defensive line where they can get pressure, they can really force turnovers, and like make some big plays on defense. But you know what? I think this game right here is going to be close, and I think it's going to be. It could be a high scoring game though, but I don't know. But you know what? Last time, the Saints beat them like twice due to the fact that, the defense, they was getting pressure, forcing turnovers. They made Tom Brady look bad, and they also made him. So, yeah. But you know what? I think this game right here is going to be super close, but it could be But I feel like this game right here can go to the bottom line, can go to the point. But if the Saints defense, if they can stay the same and be the same defense like last year, then I think the Saints might have a chance to win this game. But the Saints didn't really look that good last week versus the Falcons. I mean, Jameis Winston did not look like the offense did not look like itself until like the fourth quarter when they made that comeback. I mean, and especially the defense played really well at the end. So yeah. But you know what? I mean, the Bucs offense, when I look at their defense played really well against the Cowboys, like keeping them out of the end zone, and their offense found a way to at least have a good game plan, and they was able to stay in bounds, like move the football and all that. So yeah. So so if So we can definitely see the matchups though, like the Bucs defense. Like the Bucs defense is kind of stacked. Their secondary is stacked, but their defensive line concerns me though. But the Saints defense is a little concerning though. But because they don't got C.J. Gardner Johnson, but with C.J. Gardner Johnson, they was able to at least keep the Bucs out of the end zone and all that. So yeah. But you know what? This game right here is definitely going to be close. I expect it to be super close as well. I mean, as long as Tom Brady, if he can stay in the pocket, I mean, the Bucs can find a way to eat this defense up, and they'll find a way to win this game. But I think they will. But I think they will be competitive in this game, though. But yeah, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just take the Saints to win and pull, because I just kind of feel like the Saints has given the Bucs problems for years, because I know they have owned Tom Brady. So yeah, I mean, I just think their defense I feel like the Saints are a bad matchup for the Bucs, because the Bucs defense, because the Bucs offense, they can't really pass. They couldn't really pass block versus Saints. So I think the Saints proved to me that they can find a way to at least get pressure and also cause a few turnovers, and I think they'll find a way to at least stop the run as well. And I think they'll get in coverage with their secondary. So I think they can do a good job taking away their passing game. Because maybe you can at least put Marshawn Lattimore on Mike Evans like normal, and then maybe you can put Bradley Roby on maybe some of the other shooters like Julio Jones, Russell Gage, and then maybe Tyrann Mathieu. I don't even know, it can probably cover Kyle Rudolph. So yeah. So I think the Saints defense will give answers for the Bucs offense this game. So yeah, but I think it will be closer than people expected to, because I think the Bucs are going to hang around this game. So yeah. So I'm going to take the Saints to win this game, but I'll take the 2.5. I'll take plus a 2.5 with the Bucs. So yeah. So that's going to be upset of the week. I got the Saints over the Bucs. All right, next game, we have the Carolina Panthers versus the New York Giants. The Giants are favored by 2.5. Now, I believe this game will be a trap game, though, because, this game can definitely go either way, though. Now, here's the thing. I have a feeling that, I don't think the Panthers are good, and I don't think the Giants are good either, despite them beating the Titans. But when I look at this matchup, though, I think it's going to be both star running backs playing against each other, because they got Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley. But it's kind of hard to say who's the better running back. So, yeah. But you know what? Both of their offensive lines are kind of sketchy, and their receiving corps are very good. And then the defense, both of their defense are a little sketchy, but they got some good players there. I mean, the Giants' defense is pretty young, and the Panthers' defense is kind of young as well. So, yeah. So, both their defenses are going to grow and get better. So, yeah. So, by the way, I think when I look towards the matchup, I think I'm looking to see whose defense is going to be better. Because here's the thing. Because I think, when last week when the Giants played versus the Titans, I mean, I thought they did really well against the Titans, but I don't think they did really good against the Titans because the Giants kind of really had problems, with their offensive line, trying to block Jeffrey Simmons. So yeah. But you know what? I thought the Giants play a really good game though. I mean, Daniel Jones played his heart out in this game. So yeah. I like how the way this offense is playing. Yeah, I like when they put up a good comeback. So yeah. Yeah, because the Titans, their defense did a good job getting pressure, and forcing some turnovers. Yeah, the Giants' defense played really well, and plus, some. Yeah. So, and when I look at the Titans, the Titans' offense played really well at the end until they missed a field goal, and they really didn't do enough to win due to the fact that they missed a field goal, and the Giants, defense forced them not to, and they wanted to win. So yeah, I feel like Saquon did have a good game though. I feel like he did have a good game versus the Titans. Yeah. But you know what? When I look at the Giants, when I look at both secondaries, their secondaries are very strong. And the Giants defensive line is kind of getting stronger right now. So yeah, but the Panthers defense, is strong too. But both of their offensive lines are a little sketchy, so yeah, but I like to say the Giants offensive line is better. So yeah. When I look, and also in that Panthers game, I thought the Panthers did have success though, moving the ball against the Browns. Baker Mayfield, he would. The Panthers offense didn't look it pretty. It looked it really good though, until they really blew the game to the Browns. They blew the comeback. So yeah, but you know what? We can definitely see the Panthers having success. I mean, Baker Mayfield did not play as bad last week. He had a great game, but the whole team blew it. So yeah, but you know what? I kind of feel like if the Giants, if they can find a way to at least like move the ball against the Panthers defense, and also with the Giants defense, getting pressure and also getting Baker into some uncomfortable positions, I think they'll have a chance to win this game. But I think this game right here is going to be a little closer than we expected to because here's the thing. I just kind of feel like the Panthers defense is a little bit overrated because they really got ran on by the Browns because Nick Chubb, he put up a big game. He had a lot of carries. Yeah, because I just kind of feel like the Panthers defense might get ran on. So I don't really know. The Giants defense can also get ran on too, but if it was a high scoring game, I would not be surprised. But you know what? I think this game right here is going to be closer than we expected to. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants won. So, yeah. Even though it's in New York, I don't think it matters. So, I'm going to go ahead and just take the Panthers to win this game. And I got the Panthers winning 27-23. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit of a 4-point game. So yeah, so I feel like Baker's gonna at least have success versus the Giants, and I think he's gonna. And also, I don't think the Giants really have any corners though. I don't think they have really good corners to cover the Panthers receivers. I think Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore is gonna I don't think they're gonna have an answer for DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson. I think those guys right here are definitely gonna at least have a nice game. And McCaffrey, I think he's going to have a nice game as well. So, yeah. If Dayball, if he can put up a good game plan against the Panthers, then I think the Giants have a chance to win this game. So, yeah. So, I'm going to just go, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and just take the Panthers to win. And I'll just take the 2.5. I'll take the 2.5 points with the Giants. yeah, but I think it will be closer than we expected. Because I think the Giants are going to hang around this game like they did like last week versus the Titans, though. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to take the Giants to cover plus the 2.5, but I'll take the Panthers to win the game. I mean, I don't believe the Giants are going to go 2-0. I mean, if they do, I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, that's why I'm just going to take the Panthers to win. But I kind of feel like both teams are similar to each other because they're both not good. So, yeah. So, give me the Panthers. All right, next game. We got the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patriots are favored by 1.5. Now, this is another trap game that I'm calling because I believe this game right here is going to go either way, though, because here's the thing. I kind of feel like both teams are kind of heading in the right directions, but I kind of have a feeling that I just don't really think the Patriots are good, and I don't think the Steelers are that good either. Now, here's the thing. Both these teams are kind of pretty good, and I feel like both these two teams are kind of average. So, yeah. So, when I look at the Steelers, when you look at their offense is like vanilla. I thought Mitch Trubisky looked it pretty well versus the Bengals last week. Yeah. And also, that defense, was playing really good last week versus the Bengals. They was able to get pressure. They put up like 7 sacks and forced like 5 turnovers. I like how the way the Steelers did put up a good game plan against the Bengals offense. They was getting pressure. They was keeping them out of the end zone. Yeah. I like how the way their defense played last week. On the flip side, we can definitely see the Steelers' defense have success in this game as well. But now on the flip side, when I look at the Patriots, their offense is just like feisty. Like, it's kind of vanilla. Like, it's kind of just like the Steelers' offense. Because the Patriots' offense last week did not look really well versus the Dolphins. The Patriots, their offense, that offense did not look. It did not look really well versus the Dolphins. They turned the ball over so many times. That was crazy. The Dolphins defense put up a good game plan. Yeah. Bill Belichick, he did not have a good game plan against his defense. So, yeah. So, like, I just don't really think the Patriots are kind of like the same defense. Like, their defense is kind of really not the same like it was in the past. But I just kind of feel like that, with the Patriots struggling on both sides of the ball, was costing them the game. So, yeah. But you know what? I think this game right here can come to the point where now I feel like the Steelers can definitely be a bad matchup for the Patriots because the Steelers have a great defensive line that can get pressure. But when I look at the matchup, the defense, I think the Steelers can definitely get pressure and they can find a way to slow down their running game. Because their offensive line, like, it's kind of okay, but not special. But I think the Patriots do have a strong offensive line, which I think they can at least, like, spread out the Steelers deep, like, spread out their linebackers and their edge rushers. And I think they can spread out their secondary as well, because I don't think the Steelers have any corners that can really cover the Patriots receivers. So, yes, I feel like Mac Jones is going to have success and all that against his defense. As long as the Steelers defense as long as Mac Jones doesn't play garbage and play, if the Steelers defense don't really get Mac Jones in some uncomfortable situations, then I think the Patriots will have success and find a way to win this game. But if the Steelers defense, if we see the same defense or in the same offense as last week versus the Bengals, then I think the Steelers might have a chance to win. But I feel like both these teams are kind of even though. But I think the Steelers have a better defensive line, than them. But the thing is that they don't really got T.J. Watt for a couple weeks, so I think this can allow for the Patriots, to have success running the ball and having success pass blocking. So yeah, and plus I don't think the Steelers have a good offensive line though as well. But I think the Patriots defensive line, I mean they don't really have much of a pass rush, but I think they can do well getting pressure and like slowing down Najee Harris in that run game. And yeah, and they'll find a way to put up a lot of stops. So I feel like Bill Belichick's game plan will work out. So yeah. And plus, they have a strong secondary as well, which I think they can find a way to at least match up with the receivers. I think they will find a way to match up with the receivers, but I don't think they really have any corners though. But I don't really think the Patriots do have. Like, I don't think the Patriots kind of really have any good corners that can cover. But I think their secondary can do enough, like playing pass defense, because maybe you can put some of their corners on Deontay Johnson or Chase Claypool, or maybe the Patriots can find a way to at least like play like cover two and probably like dare Pittsburgh to run the ball and all that. I feel like they're gonna dare them to run the ball. So I feel like their matchup will go like this. Like maybe you can put like Jonathan Jones on Deontay Johnson and probably put Kyle Duggar. Like maybe you can put him on Chase Claypool and then maybe put the rookie like Jalen Mills probably on George Pickens, and then maybe you can put their safeties D like either put Jarrell Peppers or Dev McCourty. I'd say maybe two safeties can probably like at least like double like cover Pat Fairmouth. So I think they're gonna. I feel like this game. I feel like they're gonna double team him, and I feel like that both these two teams, and I feel like their secondary can find a way. I think they can double team Chase Claypool or take away him, or maybe they can do the same thing. Like maybe they can take away Deontay Johnson and double team him too. But I feel like this game right here is gonna be close though. But I feel like it's gonna get competitive though. But so yeah, but I know the game's in Pittsburgh though. I know Pittsburgh could be a tough outing to play at though because this can allow Pittsburgh to have more success. But I think the Steelers are gonna hang around this game as well. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take the Patriots to win this game. I'm gonna say the Patriots win like 20-16, something like that. I just kind of feel like the game right here is gonna get ugly. Like it's not gonna be pretty. So yeah, I feel like it's gonna be more like a defensive game. So yeah, so I think the Patriots. I feel like both defenses can make the same plays, but I just kind of have a feeling that the Patriots are gonna win because look here, they have the better coach and they're more stable at the quarterback position. So yeah, I mean, I don't believe Belichick's gonna start off 0-2. I mean, that's gonna be very disappointing. So I'm gonna take the Patriots to win, but I'm gonna take the 1.5 plus the 1.5 with take the points though. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Steelers to cover this game. I'm gonna say they're gonna keep it close, but I'm gonna take the Steelers to cover this game as well. So I'm gonna take them to cover plus the points in this game, but I will take the Patriots to win this game. And I'm hopefully Mac Jones has a good game. Next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Indy is favored by -3. I believe this game is going to be fun to watch here, but I'm going to call it a trap game as well because I just kind of feel like this game right here could definitely go either way. I mean, last time when we see these two teams play, I mean, Jacksonville really had a good. I mean, Jacksonville had. I mean, Trevor Lawrence played really well. They just blew the game. Yeah. I mean, and also the defense. I mean, I kind of feel like Jacksonville's defense is pretty much underrated though. because they played really well against Washington's. I mean, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that Jags offense looked pretty good. So yeah, but you know what? I just kind of feel like that. Feel like that Jacksonville's defense. I mean, it's pretty young, but it's not okay. But at least they played really well last week. I mean, I like how the way their defense looked. I mean, with that offensive line, I mean, it's been starting to play really well. I mean, the defense played really well. I mean, I like how the way they played. So yeah, I mean, their defense is kind of young, but I don't really think it's close to being good. But you know what? I kind of feel like Doug Peterson can probably have another competitive game as well. So yeah, so I feel like their offense might have another good game. So yeah, but you know what? I just kind of feel like that when you look at the Colts on the other side. When I look at the Colts, I mean Matt Ryan did not look it really good versus Texans last week until like the fourth quarter at the end when it got into overtime and then they end up tying it. So yeah, I just don't think the Colts. I mean, their offense was. I mean, their offense did not look good, but you know what? I think they did a really good job running the football. So yeah, but you know what? The most concerning part is that they have a little. They only have one player on. That's disappointing that they only have two of their starting receivers injured in this game. So I got a report saying that Michael Pittman is out and Alec Pierce is out. So yeah, so that can probably allow like Paris Campbell. So I think Paris Campbell could have a big game. So I think in it Mo Cox, but I think the Colts can still do enough to like pass the ball on Jacksonville because I don't think Jacksonville's secondary is that good, but it's okay but not great. I mean, last time when we see these two teams played, I mean, Jacksonville's defense looked it pretty well. I mean, the last game of last year's season, Jacksonville's defense looked it really good because they was able to at least get pressure on Carson Wentz and cause a lot of problems. I mean, we can definitely see them do the same thing. Like, yeah, but I feel like Jacksonville's defense is a little bit too young. So yeah. But I think the Colts offensive line. I think the Colts offensive line can probably do enough to at least like. I think they can do enough to at least like spread out the Jags edge rushers and linebackers. I think they can do. I think they can spread them out. So I think Frank Reich is gonna like have a good game plan here. So I think he's gonna have a good game plan against that young Jags defense. So yeah, but you know what? The same thing that concerns me that Leonard is not going to be playing. So that can allow the Colts defense to not have success. But you know what? I think the Colts defense might do enough to at least like slow down, the Jags offense and all that. So yeah. So yeah, so I think this game right here is gonna be close though. But the reason why I call it a trap game because most people are betting on Jacksonville to win. But I don't think the Jags are that good either. I don't think the Jags are good this year. So yeah. So by the way, even though this game's in Jacksonville, I don't think it matters though. But I think it will be close and competitive because I think Jacksonville's going to try to hang around this game. Because I think Trevor Lawrence played it really well last week. I mean, I like what the Jags offense did. But you know what? I kind of have a feeling that I'm just going to go ahead and just take the Colts to win this game. I'm going to take the Colts to win this game like 27-24. I think this game is going to be good, and I don't think it will be ugly, though. So, yeah. And I just think the Colts offense makes more plays, and I think their Colts defense makes more plays. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to take the Colts to So I'm just gonna go ahead and just take the Colts to win, but I'm just gonna take the points though, because I don't believe the Colts are just gonna at least start off 0-1-1, and I think Jacksonville is gonna do enough offensively to keep up with them. So yeah, but even if they don't, I would be shocked. So yeah, so I'm gonna take Jacksonville to cover this game, but I'm gonna take the Colts to win, and hopefully Matt Ryan can have a good game here and play. And also one more thing. I don't think Jacksonville's defense is going to have an answer for Jonathan Taylor because I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a big game as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I'm going to take the Colts to win. But I'm taking Jacksonville to cover, though. But I feel like the Colts are just going to win this game slightly, at least by like a field goal or maybe like a touchdown or something. All right, next game. We got the Miami Dolphins versus the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by 3.5. But you know what? I think this game right here is going to be very interesting to see because I can't wait to see how both offenses perform. But here's the thing. I feel like this is an either way type of game because I think the Dolphins are pretty good this year. So, yeah. So, I like what they did last week against the Patriots. I mean, they was able to at least like their offense was able to put up points, and Mike McDaniel had a good game plan. And I like how the way their defense played against the Patriots. I mean, they was able to keep them out of the end zone. I mean, like force a lot of turnovers. So yeah. But you know what? On the flip side, I'm looking towards the matchup though, because they got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle though as well as their top receivers. But you know what? I kind of feel like that Tyreek Hill did had a good game against the Ravens, but against the Patriots. But you know what? We can see him have a massive game against the Ravens as well. But you know what? But I kind of feel like last time when these two teams played, I believe the Dolphins won that game. Because I feel like that was a game where, where Lamar Jackson did not have his success here because of that Dolphins defense was able to get pressure on them and all that and keep them out of the end zone and all that. I mean, that Dolphins defense had a great game plan. So, yeah. But you know what? I kind of feel like the Ravens defense did play a little good, but did not play great. But you know what? We can definitely see the Ravens defense have a good game here. Have success on defense. Because I think they do have much of a pass rush, which I think they can find a way to at least slow down the Dolphins running game and all that. And they also have a strong secondary that can probably cover the receivers of the Dolphins. Like maybe they can at least put Marlon Humphrey maybe on Tyreek Hill, and then maybe they can put Marcus Peters on Jalen Waddle, but I don't really know because they don't really have a defense. Because I don't even know if Peters is gonna be able to play, so that's gonna be a challenge for the Dolphins offense. And then maybe the Ravens, some of their safeties like Kyle Hamilton or Marcus Williams. I mean, some of their safeties can find a way to at least cover Mike Gesicki in this game, or maybe they can put two safeties deep on him and maybe double team him. But I think the Ravens defense is going to have to at least give the Dolphins offense a challenge though in this game, which I think their defense is going to have to find a way to double Tyreek. Because if they don't double Tyreek, I mean, the Dolphins are just going to spread the ball out and all that. Because I think the Dolphins offensive line is pretty strong. So yeah. But you know what? I kind of have a feeling that the Dolphins are gonna pull. I have a feeling that Miami is gonna win here. I feel like Miami could definitely win this game, because I don't really know because I kind of really feel like that the Ravens have a better defense though because I think the Dolphins defense. I mean, their defense is pretty young though, but it's okay, but it's not fantastic. So yeah, and plus the Ravens offensive line is not as good as you think. So yeah. Yeah, so I kind of have a feeling that the Dolphins, I mean, they don't really have much of a pass rush. So, yeah. So I think the Ravens, I mean, their offensive line is okay, but not great. So I think the Ravens can find a way to run the ball on them. And I think Lamar Jackson is going to, like, put up a game here against his defense as well. So I think he's going to have success against the defense. So, yeah. But you know what? The Dolphins secondary is kind of strong, though, because you got some of their players on. They got some young players on defense, which we can definitely see them at least like covering their passing game. Like maybe they can put Javon Holland on Mark Andrews, or maybe they can maybe like Howard can probably cover Bateman. So yeah, so I think this game right here is going to be close. Now, I feel like it's going to be super close, and I think it will be something a little bit like of a high-scoring game. So, yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was a defensive game as well. So, yeah. So, by the way, if this game was in Miami, it could be more challenging for the Dolphins to win. But since this game is in Baltimore, I'm just going to go ahead and just take the Ravens to win this game because I have the Ravens like winning like 30-27. I just kind of feel like the Ravens are just a more complete team. They have the better quarterback. They have the better coach. They're at home. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just don't really know if I feel like the Ravens defense is going to find a way to at least like make some big plays here. And I think Lamar Jack. I mean, I don't really think Tua's going to do enough offensively. I don't think the Dolphins. I mean, I feel like they'll do enough to keep it competitive. So, yeah. So I'm gonna take the Ravens to win, but I'll take the points though, the 3.5 points. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just say the Dolphins do cover this game because I think they will keep it close and keep it competitive though. Because I think Tua's gonna put up. I think the Dolphins are gonna hang around this game as well. So yeah, and also I felt the Ravens defense might not get ran over. I felt the Ravens defense might get ran over a little bit. So yeah, and also I think the Dolphins defense probably gonna get ran over as well a little bit. So I'm gonna take the Dolphins to cover plus the 3.5, but I'll take the Ravens to win. All right, next game we have the Atlanta Falcons versus the LA Rams. Rams are favored by 10.5. You know what? I'm gonna keep this one short because here's the thing. When I look at the Falcons. Now, last week when I seen versus the Saints, I mean their defense played really well, and I mean, while the offense looked pretty good, but on the flip side, the Rams, I mean, their offense, I mean, Matthew Stafford did not look that good versus the Bills. I mean, he took him down 7 sacks, and they had some turnovers in this game. I mean, the Rams offense did not look really well. So, yeah, I mean, we can definitely see a challenging game where, where I think the Falcons, with their defense, because I feel like their defense is kind of young, but their coaching, I mean, I don't really know what Dean Pease is gonna have his game plan to be. So I just kind of feel like Dean Pease, like, does he really want them to at least like want their defense to play cover two, like have them double team Cooper Kupp and probably allow Alvin Robinson or Tyler Higbee? So yeah, so I just kind of feel like the Rams offense is like. So I just kind of feel like the Falcons defense is probably not as good as you think. So yeah, it's okay. Like it's kind of young, but it's not okay. And also on the flip side, the Rams defense has not looked it pretty well versus the Bills. I mean, yeah, but I feel like this game right. I feel like this game right here. I feel like this is a game where I think they can keep it close though. But you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and just take the Rams to win this game, and I have the Rams win this game like 28-13. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they kept this game close, but I feel like they could. As long as Matthew Stafford plays well and the Falcons' offense plays well, then I feel like they can. But I just kind of feel like the Rams are just a more complete team. They have the better quarterback, the better coaching staff. They're at home. And also, I just don't think the Falcons' defense is going to be able to do enough to stop Cooper Kupp because Cooper Kupp's going to have another big game here. So, yeah. And plus, their defense is going to find a way to at least slow down their running game, and they're going to find a way to stop their passing game as well. So, yeah, I think the Rams defense is going to play better this game, and I think the Rams offense will play better this game. And I feel like they're going to do a good job keeping the Falcons out of the end zone as well. And I think their offense is going to at least spread them out. So, yeah, so I'm going to take the Rams to win this game, but I'm just going to say the Rams do cover this game as well. So, yeah. And I hope Matthew Stafford has a good game as well. So, yeah. So, give me the Rams. Next game, we have Seattle Seahawks versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Niners are favored by 8.5. Now, I believe this game right here, I'm going to keep this one short. Now, as I look at the matchup, because I believe that both teams, the Seahawks, I like how the way their defense looked at. I like how the way they played versus the Broncos. Their defense played really good. I like how the way their defense played against the Broncos. It played very fantastic. On the flip side, Geno Smith really looked it pretty good, but not great. So yeah, and then when I look at the Niners, the Niners offense, Trey Lance did not look it pretty good. Versus the Bears, their offense, their offense is really did not look it pretty good. Their defense looked it solid though, but it didn't look good at the end. So yeah, but you know what? I just kind of feel like when I look towards the matchup, I feel like the Niners could definitely be a bad matchup for Seattle because I think the Seahawks, they don't have a good offensive line. The Niners pass rush is solid, and I think the Niners are going to find a way to at least get pressure on Geno Smith and get after him. And I think their secondary can find a way to at least match up well with the Seahawks receivers. So maybe they can put Charvarius Ward on DK, and then maybe they can put their other corner, maybe put Jason Verrett, or maybe they can put him on Tyler Lockett. And then, so yeah. So I feel like the Seahawks weaponry, I just don't think Geno Smith, I don't really know if the Seahawks are going to be able to do enough offensively. So, yeah, we can definitely see this game definitely be a low-scoring game. But you know what? I feel like this game right here is going to be a little bit ugly, but not pretty. So, yeah. But I'm just going to go ahead and just take the Niners to win this game. And I have the Niners winning 24-13. I just kind of feel like the Niners are just a more complete team. They're more stable with the quarterback position. They're at home. So, yeah. Without that being said, give me the Niners to win this game. I got the Niners win this game, and I also have the Niners covering. All right, next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Dallas Cowboys. Cincinnati's favored by 7.5. But you know what? I'm going to keep this one a little short, too, because here's the thing. When I look at this matchup, I feel like this is going to be one of the greatest games of the week. Now, when I look at the Bengals offense, last week the Bengals offense did not have a great performance last week due to the fact that the Steelers defense was able to get pressure and force a lot of turnovers and all that. So, yeah. So yeah, but I kind of feel like the Bengals did do enough. At least they stayed competitive in overtime, but I feel like they didn't do enough to win. But on the other side, when I look at the Cowboys offense did not look that well versus the Bengals. I thought the Bengals defense, I thought the Bucs defense looked it pretty good. The Cowboys offense, the Cowboys did not look that good on offensively. Defense was not playing really well. So, yeah. But you know what? I feel like this game right here is going to be fun to watch because both offenses are very good. But the thing is that they don't really have Dak Prescott, which are starting Cooper Rush. So, yeah. So that can probably, I mean, even if Dak was playing this game, I feel like this game will be close. Certain we expect. I feel like this game is definitely going to be close, but I don't really know if it's going to be closer than we expected to. Because as long as Cooper Rush, if he plays really well, then I think they can keep it close and competitive. But they don't really have Dak. So, I mean, if Dak was playing, I mean, I feel like this game can be closer though, and I can definitely take Dallas to like pull off the upset. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I wouldn't be shocked if they did. And I wouldn't be shocked if they kept it close. So yeah. So so yeah. I mean, I just kind of feel like the Cowboys are kind of a bad matchup for the Bengals because the Bengals receivers are really good. Because I don't think Dallas has enough corners that they can cover. So yeah. But I don't think the Cowboys have enough corners like that they can cover the Bengals receivers because I don't think they're gonna have an answer for Chase or Higgins or Boyd. I mean, they're just gonna have a big game. So yeah. And plus, I mean, we can definitely see the Cowboys pass rush. We can see them get pressure on Burrow like they did. I mean, if they can at least look at the Steelers game from last week and all that, like if they can, like if they do these, then I think they might have a chance to win this game. But I don't think Dallas really has much of a pass rush though that can really slow down the Bengals running game because I think the Bengals offensive line is pretty strong, which I think Joe Mixon can probably have a good game, have a lot of carries. But on the flip side, I think the Bengals defensive line is gonna find a way to slow down the Cowboys running game, and I think they're gonna find a way. I think their secondary can find a way to at least like match up well with the Cowboys receivers, which I think CeeDee Lamb is probably their only receiver who's playing. So maybe the Bengals could put one corner on him, and then maybe they can find a way to double team CeeDee. I don't really know. They can double team him, and then plus I think they can find a way to at least like, and I think Bates can probably cover Dalton Schultz, or maybe they can put two safeties deep on him. Maybe they can put two safeties on him, like they can double team him. But you know what? I mean, if this game, I mean, I understand the game is in Dallas though, but you know what? They don't really have Dak Prescott playing this game. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take the Bengals to win. And I have the Bengals winning 34-17. I mean, I just kind of feeling that I just don't think the Cowboys offense is going to be able to do enough against the Bengals. Is going to do enough to keep up with Cincinnati because I don't think Cooper Rush is that good. So, yeah. So I feel like Zach Taylor's going to put up a good game plan against the Cowboys defense. So, yeah. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game, but I'll also take the Bengals to cover. I mean, if Dak Prescott was playing this game, I mean, I will definitely take Dallas to cover this game as well. But due to the fact that Prescott isn't playing, I'm taking the Bengals to win, and I'm also taking the Bengals to cover. So I think it will be a semi blowout at this point. And I'm hoping Burrow has a good game here. All right, next game we have the Houston Texans versus the Denver Broncos. Broncos are favored by 10. I believe this game right here is definitely gonna be fun to watch, but I'm gonna keep this one short though. So as I look at the Texans, I mean, when I look at both these two teams, I mean, I kind of feel like the Texans had played really good last week. I like what they did versus the Colts. I mean, their defense played really well against Indy. I mean, their offense was able to spread out their defense. On the flip side, I mean, the Broncos' offense did not look pretty good against the Seahawks defense. I mean, the Broncos. The Seahawks defense looked good in the end zone. The Broncos fumbled twice in the end zone, which that was kind of bad. Russell Wilson almost did not play his best, but at least they did enough to stay competitive, but they didn't do enough to win the game, due to a missed field goal and all that. So, yeah, and I feel like so I kind of feel like the Broncos coaching did not have a good their coaching did not have a good performance, so yeah. But you know what? I kind of feel like the Broncos defense did have success in this game. So yeah, last week versus Seahawks. So yeah, but you know what? We can definitely see this defense have a good game plan against the Texans as well. Because I think the Broncos are. I feel like they're gonna do enough defensively, like to like get pressure, and I think they have a good. So yeah, and also I just don't think the Texans defense is gonna have an answer for the Broncos receivers. I think Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton's gonna have a big game, and especially Javonte Williams, which he's a stud at running back, so I think he's gonna have a good game. So yeah, so I hope Russell Wilson. I think he's gonna have success versus the Texans because the Texans are just not a good team. But by the way, I'm gonna take the Broncos to win this game here, and I have the Broncos winning 30-13. So I got them like win like more like a semi blowout or something like that because I don't think the Texans are gonna do enough offensively to keep up. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Broncos to win this game, but I'll also take the Broncos to cover. And I'm hopefully this Broncos offense has a good game here. Hope Nathaniel Hackett has a good game plan here. Hope he can lead the Broncos to their first win. All right, next game we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are favored by 5. That's interesting though. So I feel like this game is gonna be fun to watch. So when I look at this matchup here, I think this game can definitely go either way though because both of their offenses, with the weapons they have, are built around the quarterbacks. But their defenses, like there's like more like their secondary, are kind of a little sketchy. But when I kind of really look at both their offensive lines, both of them, their team's offensive lines are really good. I mean, I think the Cardinals' offensive line has regressed because I think it's getting older though. Because here's the thing: Kyler Murray did not look good against the Chiefs. Their offense did not really look pretty versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense, they was able to put up points against the Cardinals' defense. So yeah. So on the flip side, the Raiders, they didn't. Derek Carr did not really play his best versus the Chargers. The Chargers defense. They was able to get pressure a lot. They was able to put up 6 sacks on the Raiders. Yeah. I feel like the Chargers defense had a big game against the Raiders offense. So yeah. But you know what? I think this game right here, we can definitely see this game be a shootout type game. We can definitely see it get pretty though. Because here's the thing. The Cardinals don't really have much of weapons though. Because they don't we know DeAndre Hopkins out because now you only got like Marquise Brown, Zach Ertz, Rondell Moore if he's playing. AJ Green. Yeah. So I kind of feel like the Cardinals offense is kind of older though. At least Marquise Brown's the only young receiver. Marquise Brown and Rondell Moore are the only young receivers they have. So yeah. But when you look at the Raiders, when you look at their offense, it's very strong. But I kind of feel like Josh McDaniels is gonna at least put up a good game plan here. And I think his scheme is gonna work out really good for the Cardinals defense because the Cardinals defense, it's not that good. Yeah, it didn't really play well against the Chiefs. But you know what? I kind of feel like this is a game where I think the Raiders offense is gonna stay balanced and have success and all that. And also, I don't think the Cardinals secondary is that good enough to at least cover the Raiders receivers. I don't think they're gonna have an answer for Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. I feel like those guys is gonna at least put up a big game here, and I feel like the Cardinals secondary is gonna get burnt. So yeah. So I feel like Derek Carr should be able to put up success against the Cardinals defense. So yeah. And also the Raiders defensive line, And also the Raiders' offensive line, I mean, they should be able to spread out the Cardinals' defense as well. And on top of that, their defense, I mean, with their defensive line is really strong. I mean, with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby, I just kind of feel like it's going to be a problem. So I just kind of feel like it's going to be a problem. So yeah, so I kind of feel like they're going to do enough to get pressure and stop the run. So yeah, but you know what? I feel like this game right here is going to be closer than people expected. But I wouldn't be shocked that they kept this game close. But I think it's going to be super close. Now we can definitely see the Cardinals pull off an upset. But even if this game is in Arizona, I think it's going to be more challenging. That I think the Cardinals can win. But since it's in Las Vegas, and I'm going to go with the Raiders to win this game. And I have the Raiders winning 34-31. Like more of like a high scoring game. So yeah. I mean, I just kind of feel like the Raiders are just like the more. I just kind of feel like their defense. I just feel like the Raiders are just the more complete team and also have the better coach. I like the coach more for the Raiders more I like than the Cardinals. And plus, they're at home. So, yeah. And I think both quarterbacks are similar, though. Because I think Kyler Murray's a little overrated, and I think Derek Carr's underrated. So, and plus, I think Carr's a better quarterback than Kyler. So, yeah. So, give me the Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders to win, but I'm going to take the 5 points, though. Because I think the Cardinals are going to hang around this game here, and I think they're going to try to hang around this game, and I think Kyler Murray's going to play better than he did last week. So, yeah, I feel like if the Cardinals, I mean, if they can stay balanced on offense and Kyler Murray plays the best, then I think they can keep it close. So, I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover this game, but I'll take the Raiders to win. I'll take the Raiders to win. All right, next game, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. Packers are favored by 10. Now, I'm going to keep this one short, though. Now, when I look at this matchup, this game can definitely go either way as well because I kind of really think that the Packers offense is, I mean, it did not look really well versus the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings defense, they played really well against the Bears. I mean, they played really well against the Packers offense. I mean, yeah, also the Packers defense, they did not look good. I mean, Justin Jefferson had a good game as well. So yeah. On the flip side, I mean, the Bears, I mean, they did not look really good against the Niners. I mean, Justin Fields, I mean, they looked pretty good against the Niners. I mean, Justin Fields played his best. I mean, yeah. I mean, the defense was looking pretty good, and the offense was looking. I mean, Fields looked pretty good against the Niners. So, yeah. But you know what? I kind of have a feeling that we can definitely see the Bears have success against the Packers because last year, I think the last time when these two teams played, I think the Bears' offense looked pretty good until they start to decline and all that. So yeah. But you know what? I kind of feel like that I don't think the Bears match up well with the Packers because I think the Packers, you know, with their defense, I mean, it's pretty good because they have a strong defensive line. But I kind of feel like that the Packers, I mean, they have a strong secondary that can like take away the passing game, and they also have a great defensive line that can stop their running game and get pressure because the Bears' offensive line is atrocious. So yeah, so I think the Packers' defense is gonna have success this game, and I'm hoping this offense can play really well because it didn't look pretty. Like I said last week, they didn't look pretty last week against that Bears defense because I think the Bears defense. I mean, if the Bears if they can at least do the same thing like they did last week, then I think they might have a chance to keep it close and they might have a chance to win this game. But I just don't know if the Bears offense is going to be able to do enough against the Packers. So yeah. So by the way, I expect this game to be a lot closer than we expected to. But I'm gonna go with the Packers to win this game, and I have the Packers winning 30-24. I just kind of feel like that the Packers offense. I feel like the Packers offense is gonna put up 30 in this game, and I think their young receivers are gonna play well too. So yeah, and also I don't think the Bears are gonna have an answer for Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon because those guys are gonna. I feel like those guys are just gonna run all over the Bears defense. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Packers to win, but I will take the points though. But I don't think I'm gonna take the Bears to cover though. Despite the Bears winning last week, I don't think I'm gonna take them to cover. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just take the Packers to win the game, but I'll just go ahead and just take the Bears to cover the points, but I'll take the Packers to win the game. And I'm hoping Aaron Rodgers has a good game too. So yeah. All right, next game we have the Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills. Bills are favored by 10. So obviously, I think this game right here is going to be very interesting to see, but I think it can go either. But you know what? Because I believe last time when these two teams played, I think the Titans beat them, but I think they beat them by 3 points. I think that's the game where the Titans defense played really well. Because I feel like on the last drive, the Titans defense did make a stop when the Bills tried to score. So yeah, but you know what? We could definitely see the Titans do the same thing. We can definitely see them get pressure on them and give the Bills a tough time. On the flip side, when I look at the Bills' offense, it's a lot of explosive though. But the question is that Gabe Davis is questionable due to an injury. But I feel like the Bills do have some other receivers as well. So yeah. But you know what? I kind of really feel like that. No, I just kind of feel like the Bills' offense is kind of a lot of explosive. So yeah, and also they really put up a really good game, put up a really big fight against the Rams. Yeah, cause so yeah, Josh Allen looked good against that Rams defense, and that Bills defense had a good game here, good game against the Rams. That defense they was able to get pressure. They got seven. They put up 7 stacks on Matthew Stafford. So yeah, we can definitely see them do the same thing too. As long as Tannehill, as long as that Titans offense don't look bad, then I think the Titans can keep it close here. Because here's the thing, I kind of feel like that the Bills can do enough defensively to slow down Derrick Henry. So yeah, and plus I don't think the Titans offense. I just don't really know if the Titans offense is going to be able to do enough to keep up with Buffalo because I think the Bills are going to score a lot of points in this game. So yeah, the Titans. They showed some fight against the Giants. They showed a lot of fight against the Giants though last week, but they definitely blew it though. But you know what? Due to the matchups though, we can definitely see the Titans. I kind of feel like the Titans secondary does match up well with the Bills more than the Rams. But you know what? The biggest concern is that some of their top corner could be out. So yeah. So I don't really know if Tennessee really has any corners that can cover Diggs because I don't think they're gonna have an answer for him. Because I think the Bills' defense will answer the Titans' offense, but due to the fact that the Titans' offense is more explosive, because I don't think the Titans' offense is explosive as it used to be. So yeah, I kind of feel like Buffalo does have more explosiveness on offense. So yeah. But you know what? I feel like this game right here could definitely be close, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was a blowout though. But you know what? I just kind of feel like the Bills defense matches up well with the Titans receivers. So I was kind of really thinking that even though their top corner did not play, even though their top corner is out for a little while, I feel like the Bills defense will still be able to match up well with the Titans receivers because they got the rookie Kahir Lamb, And then they also got Dane Jackson, which he's questionable. Teron Johnson could be solid. And also, they have their safeties too. So maybe they can find a way to double team Austin Hooper as well. So, yeah, and also their pass rush, I think they can really find a way to at least, like, get pressure on the quarterback. They can find a way to get pressure on Tannehill and all that. So, yeah. And I think their offensive line is very solid, which I think they can spread out the Titans' pass rush. So, yeah, and also I don't think the Titans' offensive line is good as it used to be. So, yeah. So, I just kind of feel like that the Titans' offense is going to have a test here in this game. So, by the way, since this game is if this game is in Tennessee, I feel like it could be a little bit more challenging. But since the game is in Buffalo, I'm going to go ahead and just take the Bills to win this game. And I have the Bills winning 37-19. I just kind of feel like I just don't really think the Titans are going to do enough offensively to keep up with the Bills' offense. Because the Bills' offense I kind of feel like they do have more explosive abilities, though. Because I don't think the Titans are explosive on offense like they used to be. So, yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked if they keep it close. So, yeah. So, and also, I would think the Bills are just a more complete team. They have the better coaching staff. They have the better quarterback. They're at home. So, yeah. So as all these things, I just kind of feel like the Bills are just gonna be able to pull off the win here. So yeah, I feel like it will be a semi blowout. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Bills to win this game, but I'll also take the Bills to cover. All right, next game we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are favored by 2.5. When I look at this game right here, I feel like this game right here can definitely go either way because I think the Eagles are slightly a good team too, and I think the Vikings are good as well because I like what the Vikings did against the Packers. Their defense played very outstanding. Justin Jefferson. He had a really fancy good game right here versus the Packers. Yeah. But on the flip side, the Eagles' offense is looking pretty good against the Lions. Their defense was starting to play really well against the Lions. They was able to get pressure, but they just almost blew the game as well. But you know what? I kind of feel like this team right here goes towards the matchup though, because here's the thing. When I look at the Vikings defense, I feel like the Vikings defense is solid, but I just think their secondary is not as good. I don't like it's kind of average though. But at least their secondary played very well playing man coverage against the Packers. But you know what? I think the Vikings, with their defense, with their offense, I kind of really feel like the Vikings offense, with their defense, I feel like their defense can really give Hurts a tough time. So, yeah. So, yeah. But I kind of really feel like that, the Eagles, the Eagles offensive line is pretty strong though. And plus AJ Brown had a nice game as well. So, yeah. But on top of that, I kind of really think that the Eagles defense is just like it's pretty much over. Their defense is pretty good. I like how the way they did versus the Vikings. I kind of feel like they can match up well with the Eagles on paper really good. Because here's the thing. Because I think that the Eagles secondary is very strong, which I think they can find a way to at least like cover the Vikings receivers. Because, they got Darius Slay and they got James Bradbury, which I think maybe Slay can probably cover Justin Jefferson and maybe like James Bradbury on like Adam Thielen. And then I don't really think they have a tight end though as well. But you know what? I kind of feel like the Eagles defense is going to have to do a good job double teaming Justin Jefferson, because if they don't, then he's going to find a way to catch the ball for like a 10-yard pass. So yeah, and also I don't think the Vikings offensive line is that good. So I kind of really think the Vikings. I think the Eagles defensive line can match up well with the Vikings offensive line, because I think the Eagles defensive line, I think they're going to get pressure on Kirk Cousins, and I think they're going to give this Vikings offense a lot of problems. And I think they can find a way to slow down Dalvin Cook. So yeah, and plus I think that. So yeah, and also the Eagles, they have a strong, really good offensive line, which I think they can find a way to at least spread out the Vikings' pass rush and the linebackers as well. So yeah, I think the Eagles' offense is just gonna spread their Vikings defense out. And also, I don't think the Vikings are gonna have an answer for AJ Brown as well, because I think AJ Brown might have another good game as well. And I think Jalen Hurts, he's gonna have success against the Vikings defense, especially against a defense that's not as good. So yeah, because I think the Eagles' defense is kind of better than the Vikings. I think both defenses and offenses are just the same. But you know what? I think they will keep it close though and keep it competitive though, because I think the Vikings will. I think the Vikings are going to stay competitive in this game, and I think they're going to hang around this game. But you know what? But I feel like this game right here could definitely get a little ugly, and I feel like it could be a high-scoring game as well. But you know what? If this game was in Minnesota, I think it would be more challenging that Minnesota will win this game. But you know what? Since the game is in Philadelphia, I'm going to go ahead and just take the Eagles to win this game. I'm just going to say the Eagles win this game 26-23. So, yeah, I think more like a 3-point game. So, yeah. So, I feel like the Eagles offense will put success against the Vikings. And also, I just kind of feel like the Vikings defense needs to have a test here. So, yeah. So, yeah, and also, I also feel like that the Vikings offense needs to get a test here as well. So, yeah, I feel like the Vikings need to get a test here on both sides of the ball before I decide I'm going to pick them to win. But that it could totally change my mind, but I'm just going to go with the Eagles because I think the Eagles are just the more complete team. They're at home. So, yeah. And they also have the better coach as well. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles to win, but I'll also take the 2.5 points, though. Because I think they're going to try. Because I think this game right here could be closer than we expected to. But it definitely could be a high-scoring game as well. But I wouldn't be so shocked if it was a shootout. So, yeah, but it could be a shootout as well. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Vikings to I'm going to take the Vikings to cover plus a 2.5, but I'll take the Eagles to win the game. Well, those are all my week 2 predictions for this week. So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. And also, don't forget to, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section below what you think. Well, and also, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like this video, and don't forget so yeah, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones from The Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.